Hello everyone, this is Eric, RC Monster Garage, and this is part 2. So if you guys remember what we're doing, we put in this big castle creation, and I just put on it the 34 tooth gear. Now a 32 will fit better, but I end up putting a 34, so it's going to be a little bit faster. Now one of the problems that you have when you do that is here, this second screw right there will not get all the way to the tip, so you have to make this thing a little bit wider. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick how to do that, and then we're gonna put the motor in. So what you need a Dremel tool with a kind of a rough edge tip, and you can actually do that with a drill, just going in and out, because what we need to do is literally remove from here probably, I would say 5,000 of an inch. It's literally like a hair thickness, just so the screw will go good and the right way. So let's do this. You're not going to damage anything, you're just making it a little bit bigger. Okay, we're going to continue now. And that's it. All we did right now is we made sure that the thickness of this screw gonna go and be able to fit a little bit further to the side. It's need to get closer to this wall. This is all we did. And now we can actually go ahead and put the motor. So let me clean up over here, and we're gonna put the motor in. Okay, so now everything is kind of digged in pretty nice. So we have a longer area here for the extra bolt. I'm gonna push the motor in, and it's lined up pretty nice, and then I can start closing the screws. Now you always need to use Loctite. You cannot do that without putting Loctite. This is a real must. So if you think about doing a job like this without Loctite, your motor gonna go loose, and it might be a serious problem. Now one of the other things I want to emphasize is that the gears right now are turning very, very smooth, and I did not put yet any paper to space it. And I'm gonna take this piece of paper real quick and show. I'm just gonna run it through, and I'm gonna bring it back out, and I have the spacing zigzag thing that I want over here, and I'm not gonna do more than that. For the reason is that this is actually smooth, and I can see the spacing, and it's perfect. So let me start close this thing up. I'm just gonna pause for a second just so I can actually clean it, and then we're gonna close everything. You just have too much debris here that can cause problem later. Okay, so we did a setup, we have the right spacing, and now we have to get the screws. There is 2 screws. We're gonna put Loctite on them. It's very important to do that. If you're not gonna put Loctite, and you have to put a decent amount of Loctite, it's just gonna fall off when you're running on a high speed, and then you're gonna have a major problem. So you put like about that much. Now while you tighten it, you have to make sure it's set in the right way, so you're not gonna have any kind of problem that the motor keep moving while you tighten it. Okay, we're gonna close the second one. Then whatever left is one on the bottom, and then this actually feels pretty good. It's a little bit tight, but it's okay because after it's going to break some of the coating, it will be just fine. So let's start. So now we have the motor in, and then there is another thing to do. So when Castle Creation sending you like their ESC, it's usually arrive with nothing plugged in, so you can set it up to whatever plug you need. I'm gonna go right now, and what I'm gonna take this Y, and I'm gonna cut it and solder it and put a shrink wrap, and then we're gonna have the right connection for this XLX2, and then we have to find how to set it up and where to set it up, because it's pretty big and I'm not sure it's really gonna fit over there. So let me go and solder this real quick. If you want to see like how to solder, I have a different video about soldering. I don't want to waste anybody's time, so let's go. Okay, so our new ESC is ready, and we have the wires like we need it to be. It's perfect actually. And now what I'm gonna need to do is set it aside and remove the old ESC that it's kind of cooked. Probably when the customer was run it and got some problem with it, he did something and it's cooked it, so now it's completely fried. We're gonna remove this. Now you do have to remove the ESC and remove the on-off switch and open the box underneath here in order to get to the receivers. So I'm gonna show real quick how to do that. Make sure when you do that you're not damaging anything. Now we're probably gonna have to zip tie this thing on, because the screws that they make on those mounts, they made them specifically for a Spectrum system, not for anything else. So it's gonna be a little bit of a tricky thing to do, but not a big deal for us. Okay, so it's 5 screws like this. We remove them. And then this will kind of try to come out, but I think this thing is actually also taped in, to be honest. Yeah, it's actually have the screws, and it have a very strong double stick tape underneath it. So I'm gonna need to actually peel it off and actually remove it. It's gonna be very, very annoying to do, but I don't have any other choice. And this you do with a tool that it's like the 1.5 and actually 2 millimeters. Oops. That one screw fell in, it's not a big deal. Okay, I turned the car around just so you guys could see after I open it. So we have here the ESC, and the ESC is plugged all the way there. So when you take the plugs out, a lot of people getting confused about what go wheres and how and everything. You have in a Castle Creation 2 different plugs, and this is the one that you need to use. Okay, you have one plug that is going to be for monitoring, and you have another plugs that it's actually going to be for the throttle. So you have to make sure that you're using the right plug on the right place, so please pay attention to it. When you look over here, it will actually show you some of the information that you need to know. Okay, and let's start actually with the plug for the speed. And what we're going to do is, it's pretty long, so when you take it in, first we're going to take this one is out, we're going to remove this one, and we're going to put it exactly at the same spot. Now this came under a seal over here that make it waterproof. So we're gonna run it, and then the same, and we're gonna have to run the other one as well. So, but I want to start with the one actually that's gonna run my motor, just to see that everything gonna work fine right now. So, and then the brown is like the black, gonna go all the way out. So we're gonna plug this thing in. Hopefully it's the right one. We'll see in a minute, I guess. Okay, it's plugged in, and then I'm just gonna check everything here is working, and let me run a test. Okay, so this is kind of a dry test. So heavy, just testing it. Working pretty good. Yeah, very strong. So now there, I need to start closing everything. Bye.